Oliver was attacked in his flat and taken to the hospital. There are 4 suspects, all of them Oliver's neighbors. Wow, I'd find another apartment. Amelia said she'd been walking in the park since early morning. Henry explained he had been painting in his studio and had heard nothing. Jacob said he had been repairing his car. Sophia answered she'd been taking a bath for the past 3 hours. Look at these people's hands and try to figure out who's lying. It's a bit strange that Jacob, who was repairing his car, and Henry, who was painting, both have such clean hands. But they could be wearing gloves. On the other hand, Sophia's hands and fingers don't have wrinkles. But it would be a natural skin reaction after 3 hours in a bathtub. Sophia, you've been caught smooth-handed. The police found out there was a new smuggler in town. 3 people were under suspicion: Luna, a school bus driver, Jackson, a fire truck driver, and Daniel, an ambulance driver. All of them claimed to have been busy with their work since the very morning. Can you figure out who's the smuggler? Look at the car Daniel drives. On such vehicles, the word ambulance is normally written backward. It's done so that other drivers can instantly read the inverted word in their rearview mirrors. Well, it seems Daniel has given himself away. It was the day when Jacob was supposed to be discharged from the hospital. He had spent a couple of months there and underwent several surgeries. His doctor told him he was going to be fine. It was safe for Jacob to leave the hospital. But the guy didn't believe these promises. In low spirits, he walked home. On the way, he accidentally bumps into an elderly lady. She gets furious and started to shout at Jacob. But instead of arguing back, he hugged the woman and ran home. Why? Jacob had hearing loss. He didn't believe his problem could be helped. But when he heard the woman shouting at him, he realized the doctor had told him the truth. Maybe the doctor should have shouted. Chloe stayed late at the office that day. When she was driving home, the woman was worn out. At one moment, she even started to doze off. That's when it happened. She spun off the road and crashed through the fence that was on her way. She couldn't control the car anymore. It slipped down a steep hill and ended up in a lake. Chloe couldn't move her arms. They were stuck. She couldn't undo her seatbelt or open the door. The car sank to the bottom of the lake. Was Chloe doomed? Rescuers arrived 3 hours later. The woman was still in the car, but she was alive. How did she survive? After the car hit the bottom of the lake, the water only came up to Chloe's throat. It was a very shallow lake. Good thing, huh? It was Jack's birthday, and the fellow got a present he had been dreaming about for ages – a motorbike. The next morning, he rode his bike to college and left it at the parking lot. During lunchtime, Jack decided to check on his motorbike. Imagine his horror when he found out someone had broken the mirrors. The security guard told Jack only 3 other people had left his building in the afternoon. They were Owen and Sam, 2 best friends, and Layla, the girl who once liked Jack but got turned down by him. Owen said he and Sam had gone to the campus cafe to get sandwiches for lunch. Sam confirmed this. He then added the bike could have been damaged by Layla out of revenge. But Layla told Jack her mother had visited her and they had spent 2 hours together. So, who's lying? Owen has a paper bag with food delivery written on it. It means the guys ordered their lunch, not bought it in the cafe. They broke Jack's mirrors and tried to frame Layla. Not a good reflection on them, huh? Detective Taylor was chasing a dangerous criminal. Suddenly, the man entered a hospital. Oh no, there are hundreds of rooms there. Luckily, it was raining, and the criminal left footprints on the hospital floor. The detective followed them and got into a small room. There were 3 people there, all covered in bandages from head to toe. But one of them was a fake patient. Who? It was the dude in the middle. He didn't even have a medical chart next to his bed. Very quick job on the bandages, though. The CEO of a large company called the police. He was sure that one of his employees, Victoria, had stolen a memory card with secret information. She was going to sell it to their competitors. The police arrived at Victoria's house, but the woman didn't let them in without a warrant. The officers had to leave to get all the necessary papers. By the time they were back, Victoria had already been sitting in her car, ready to drive off. The police officers arrested the woman. They searched her car and clothes, but found nothing. And then, when they were about to give up, one of the detectives realized where Victoria kept the memory card. Can you figure it out? When the police first came to her, the woman had her hair down. But after that, Victoria changed her hairstyle. The memory card is in her bun. Yep, Victoria and her sticky bun. Michael was going home from the gym when everything went black. When he regained consciousness, he found out he was in a locked room. Next to the door, there was a computer with a keyboard. On the screen, there was a riddle. Michael had to write the correct answer and the door would open. The riddle went like this. It makes 2 people out of 1. What is it? Michael typed the needed word and the door opened. He was free to go. What was the answer? It's a mirror. Oh, I was guessing a buzzsaw, but this one is better, and not as messy. 2 best friends, Emily and Luna, came to a popular and expensive hair salon. At first, the administrator told the girls they had just one available hairstylist. But after making a phone call, she happily announced she had found another hairdresser. Emily and Luna could have their hair done at the same time. But in the process, it dawned on the girls that one of the hairstylists was fake. Which one? Both hairstylists are using regular scissors, but instead of hairspray, the one on the left is holding a can of bug spray. Yeah, that's a big clue right there. A man on a bike grabbed Sarah's bag with all her documents, money, and smartphone and sped off. The only way the girl can get her bag back is by taking someone's car and driving after the criminal. There are 3 vehicles parked nearby. Which one can Sarah break into and drive off, borrow? A man is sitting in the blue car. That's no good. If she decides to take the red car, CCTV will spot her. Her only option is the brown vehicle. Oh, and Sarah, don't forget to return the wheels when you get your bag back, otherwise you'll be Grand Theft Sarah. Mary and her younger brother Alex were mushroom hunting in the forest. Wait, mushroom hunting? What do? Sneak up on them so they don't escape? Anyway, they started a quarrel. Alex got angry and ran away. After several minutes, Mary rushed after him. She was still fuming, but also worried. Soon, the girl reached a small river. A man was sitting on the shore. Did you see a teenager here?" Mary asked. "Yep, he's just taken a boat and made it to the other side." But Mary didn't believe the man. Why? The boat is indeed on the other side, but the paddles are lying next to the man. How could the boy cross the river without them? So, where's Alex? Kidnapped by the escaped mushrooms? We may never know. Ella came to a party that took place in her best friend's house. It was a riddle party. All the guests had to crack mysteries and participate in different challenges. Ella's task was to get out of a locked room in the basement. The girl was blindfolded, taken downstairs, and left alone. After pulling the piece of cloth off her eyes, Ella noticed the door had a code lock. She also spotted a sheet of paper lying on the floor next to the door. There were 4 flowers drawn there. Ella looked at them for a while and entered the correct code. The door opened and the girl joined the party. So, what was the code? Ella counted the petals on each flower. The code was 5748. Carter was visiting his friend Mateo, who lived in another city. Mateo loved riddles. In the evening, he challenged Carter to get the key to the guest room where the guy was supposed to be sleeping. Mateo dropped the key in the bucket filled with cold water and told Carter to get it. But he couldn't touch the water or use anything to pull the key out. That night, Carter slept in the guest room. How did he get the key? He put the bucket over a fire. The water started to boil and soon evaporated. After that, Carter picked the key up. Mateo was steamed. Nora was an insurance agent. Once, her client called her early in the morning. The woman was in tears. At night, someone had broken into her house. By the time the woman had enough courage to go downstairs, the thief had already taken all the valuables. When she looked out of the window, the man was running away. "Do you remember what he looked like?" Nora asked. The client answered, "It was still dark outside. I understood it was a man, tall and thin. He had dark hair and was wearing a V-neck t-shirt." Nora immediately realized her client had staged the burglary. How did she figure it out? It was dark, and the man was running away from the client's house. Then how could the woman see he was wearing a V-neck t-shirt? Beats me.
It's a cold winter evening. Amber goes to her friend Mara's house and sees clear signs of a robbery. Everything's turned upside down, and Mara is missing. Amber calls the police. They arrive and question Amber.
"I knocked on the door and rang the bell repeatedly. The light was on in one of the rooms. That's why I thought that Mara must be home. So I decided to look out the window, but the glass was frozen. So I breathed on the ice to melt it, and then I noticed the hot mess inside the house and called you."
After hearing her story, the policemen suspect Amber. Why? Both sides of the glass would have been frozen, so Amber couldn't have a chance to see through the window clearly. Therefore, her story is fake. Nina enters the local museum and sees a beautiful statue, but unfortunately, its shadow is missing. Can you find it among these options? Only the second one fits perfectly. Carl is a legendary wizard. Olaf has been working as his servant for over 30 years. He wants to pay Olaf back for his loyalty.
"Make one wish and I will fulfill it. You have 1 day to think about it."
Olaf gets very happy and rushes home to discuss the wish with his relatives. His mother is blind, so he asks Olaf to bring her eyesight back. Olaf's wife asks for a son because they've been childless for many years. And Olaf's father wants to be rich. That's why he insists that Olaf ask for wealth. The next day, Olaf goes to Carl and makes one wish. And it satisfies all the 3 desires of his family members. What was the wish? Olaf said, "My mother wants to see her grandson swinging on a swing of gold." 4 cars come to a 4-way stop, all coming from different directions. They can't decide who got there first, so they all enter the intersection at the same time. But they don't crash into each other. How is this possible? All the cars made right-hand turns. A frog falls at the bottom of a 30-foot well. Each morning, the frog climbs 3 feet up, but each night, it slips 2 feet down during sleep. So, at the beginning of the first day, the frog has 30 feet to go. At the beginning of the second day, it has 29 feet to go, and so on. How many days does the frog need to escape from the well? At the beginning of the 28th day, the frog will climb the last 3 feet and escape. Rick and Nick are twins who live on a farm together. Rick always tells the truth, and Nick always lies. One day, a traveler comes along and asks for directions to the nearest village. But he doesn't know who's the honest man and who's the liar. He can only ask one question to one of the brothers to figure out the correct route. What question should he ask? The traveler should ask any brother the following question. If I ask your brother which way leads to the nearby village, what would he say? In this case, whatever direction the traveler gets, it will be the opposite of the correct path. Can you find a copy of this key in this variety? Here's the perfect match. Ava, Brooke, and Chloe are fashion models. They participate in a fashion show. Each model is wearing a dress of different colors: red, green, and blue. The star of the show will wear a red dress. We know for sure that Ava's dress is not red, Chloe's dress is not green, and the color of Brooke's dress can be mixed with 2 other colors of the rainbow. Can you figure out the color of each model's dress? Let's start with Brooke. Her dress color can be mixed with 2 other colors of the rainbow. Only the green dress matches this condition because it's a mix of yellow and blue. Therefore, we can conclude that Ava's dress is blue and Chloe's dress must be red. So the star of the show is Chloe. Mr. Thompson is a legendary chemist. Unfortunately, someone kidnapped him from his lab. The police arrive and examine the crime scene. They find no clear evidence except a piece of paper lying on Mr. Thompson's desk. He only wrote out these 5 elements: nickel, carbon, oxygen, lanthanum, and sulfur. The lab guard says that only 3 people visited the chemist that day: his sister Laura, his co-worker Nicholas, and his wife Tessa. The police arrest the criminal immediately. Can you guess who? The list of chemicals was a clue. Their abbreviations sound like the name Nicholas. Billy wakes up in a dusty, abandoned basement. Suddenly, a creepy voice announces, "If you manage to open the combination lock, you're free to go. But if you don't, you'll stay here forever. I left a clue for you in this room." Can you help Billy crack the code? These boxes will help figure out the password. Mr. Bold takes a walk on the beach. He sees some boats. All except 2 are blue. Also, all except 2 boats are red, and all except 2 are white. Can you figure out how many boats of each color are present on that beach? Let's focus on the first 2 statements. We can fairly assume that 2 boats are not red and 2 boats are not blue. Now, one of those boats that are not red can be blue. Similarly, one of the non-blue boats can be red. If we remember the third statement, that all except 2 boats are white, we can conclude there's only one red, one blue, and one white boat on the beach. Can you figure out what's wrong with this picture? Why is there a sock hanging here? David goes to the local haunted house at night to film a vlog for his followers. Today is a new moon, so the night is very dark. He enters the house and suddenly, the door shuts behind him. He's trapped! David wanders around and finds 3 doors leading outside, but each path is hiding some dangers. There's a wicked maniac clown behind the first door. He ties up every person he manages to catch and forces them to listen to his jokes forever. There's a hungry werewolf hiding behind the second door. He's the strongest one in his pack. And there's a huge black hole waiting behind the third door. It's impossible to pass through it. Can you help David choose the safest option to escape? He should choose the second door. It's a new moon, remember? The werewolf is not a threat unless the moon is full. Can you spot any odd details here? Hello! What about this picture? Can you see anything weird? Number 5 is missing.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.